And so let's talk about what some of those manifestations are. First, that glorious emotion that you're feeling is a manifestation, isn't it?
Yeah.
Think about it. I want that and that and that and that. And if I get that and that and that, then I'll feel good. So it's the feeling good that's the manifestation that you're looking for all along. When you figure it out, that what you're really looking for is being in the vortex or being in full resonance with who you are, and that from that position then, that vortex in you, that complete full you, then affects the manifestations. And we've been saying it to you in many ways for many years, that you have to be in vibrational alignment with what you want in order for it to come about. And we've been talking about manifestations, but for most people, there has been a gap between this business of doing the vibrational work and the manifestations. And almost everybody says, okay, here I stand, I'm a manifested being, and I care about the what-isness of my life. And we say, of course you do. Because what is. It's who you are. It's where you be. Everything that surrounds you equals the manifestation of this moment. In other words, everyone you talk to, the thoughts you think, the feelings you have, it's all manifesting now, manifesting now. So most people say, all right, here I am. I don't have as much money as I want. I'd like to manifest more money. My car, I don't even want to talk about my car. I want a new car. I'm really not very happy with where I live, and I'm looking for a relationship. I'm looking for a relationship. I'm looking for something better than what I've had. I'm looking for a relationship. So I want to manifest these things. And they feel like pinnacle things. They feel like big things. They feel like things off in the distance. I want to manifest these things. So I think I'll go to this stupid meeting. The science of deliberate creation, the art of allowing, the law of attraction. I'll go to this meeting and I'll figure out how to manifest those things so that I can then be happy. And so even though we visit in lots of ways, we talk about this year after year after year, almost everyone is still doing it that way. I want to fill in the missing pieces of my life, so I'm therefore willing to do whatever it takes to fill in the missing pieces of my life. And we say, and you said, and we know, and you know, that the only missing piece is the relationship with your inner being that you've been looking for. That's the only missing piece. That's the only missing piece. The cooperative components have already been gathered and are ready to manifest. You're just the missing link. You're just the holdout, not always, but sometimes, in being the cooperative component. So when you get it, that your work is to ignore what is, no matter what it is, to ignore it, to love it and appreciate it for the expansion that it has caused, but now get off of it and start feeling your way into the vortex, feeling your way into the vortex. And what we've noticed is most of you won't make the effort to feel your way into the vortex as long as you have some other way of wrestling it to the ground and killing it. Esther said, I realized that I wasn't really lining up, because why line up? I've got people. I have people to call. Something goes wrong, I'll just call someone and say, can you take care of that? And the people around me are so efficient and so good at it that they can put out the brush fire almost as fast as I can set them. But in time, you come to this place, and you certainly have found this place, where feeling good is what really matters. And if we can convince you that the way you feel is what matters, and you have the ability to feel good no matter what now, because you have the ability to focus in a way that allows you to feel good no matter what now. If you can find the feeling place of alignment, what happens is then, in your complete alignment, where in your vortex, everything that you've been asking for has been gathered. Now, the vortex will lay the groundwork and create the path, the delicious unfolding path for the manifested discovery of what you're looking for. And that's what we started to ask you a little bit ago, when we want to say to you, isn't it delicious to have found the resonance of knowing, more than belief, of knowing your wholeness, and then to watch that wholeness be manifested again and again in a conversation, in a sweet making of love, in a manifestation of something that you want, in details of life that are delicious in every way, no matter what the subject of it. Because once you get there, once you begin consciously and deliberately manifesting from inside the vortex, then you know what else you get? You get the freedom of resistance, which is just divine. And you get something that almost all of you have been speaking about since you were very, very little. You get knowledge of your worthiness. Because the manifestations just keep supporting the wholeness of who you are. On the Alaskan cruise ship, Esther came around the corner from her stateroom with Barbara, and the crazy Abraham participants on the ship had orchestrated a mob dance.
Sweet.
They were coming down the stairwells, they were coming up the stairwells, they were coming out of the hall, they were coming out of their doors. It was quite a sight to see. And the song that they were playing and dancing to was never look back, 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 because everything is forward, everything's in the vortex. That's who you are. And when you look back, you deprive yourself of who you are, and it doesn't feel good. And when you look back, you're defending, you're justifying, you're explaining, you're probing. In other words, the now is the richness. It's this now here-ness. We began last Sunday in Seattle by saying, we are extremely pleased that you are here. And we want to help you to feel the bigness of the here-ness, because here means the convergence of all that you are. And here, this powerful now, where you meet you, is all any of us have. But the thing that you are helping us to emphasize, that is really a new leading edge understanding that you're resonating with, is that when you are here in your physical bodies, in this time-space reality, in this room, having this conversation, and you are resonating in vibrational accord with the wholeness of who you are, then you allow who you are to be here with you too, no separation, no deprivation, here with you. And that's when you are feeling the fullness of who you are. That's the way life is supposed to feel. You're supposed to feel really, really, really brilliant. You are. You're supposed to feel really, really, really adored. That's who you are. You're supposed to feel appreciation for each and everything that you focus upon. And when you look out into a diverse world, there's plenty that you can find not to appreciate on. Don't look too long there. Because when you look too long there, it sucks you out of the vortex, or really the vortex can't hold you when you do that. So love is a manifestation, because emotion is a manifestation, isn't it? Alignment is a manifestation. So love is a manifestation in the moment that cannot be accurately articulated because it's so deep. Yeah. And so when you find that manifestation, you are there. So there are two things that happen under those conditions. We talked about that. So whether you call it love, worthiness, what it really is freedom in the moment that you're focused there. Freedom from resistance, which is the only thing that ever makes you feel bad. Nice to know. If you are a creator, and you are, then you need and desire contrast in order to create. And anyone who's exposed to any kind of contrast must feel the contrast of emotion as well. So when someone tells us they feel no negative emotion, who is exposed to the contrast of physical life, we know that's a person who is having negative emotion, who is not aware of it. You can't live in this contrasting world in which you deliberately chose for the purpose of taking thought beyond that which it has been before, without experiencing contrast. And contrast means positive emotion, negative emotion. What you're striving for is a balance so that there's more positive than negative. There's something powerful about accepting that where you are is perfect on your way to something better.
Well,
you're feeling negative emotion right now.
Okay.
Because wouldn't you like it better if we were agreeing with everything you said? But isn't it sort of annoying that we keep stopping you? We don't even let you get a whole sentence out before we interrupt you. And then we tell you things that you don't really believe for sure. In other words, that's annoying, and that's negative emotion. We don't want to try to show a chart that compares everyone's emotion to everyone else's emotion. It's all your range of emotion.
All individual.
And so here's the way it works. The more you explore contrast, the more you expand vibrationally. The more you expand vibrationally, the more the potential for the range of emotion within you. The more potential for a tug of war. In other words, if contrast causes you to really expand vibrationally and you don't keep up with it, then you have stronger negative emotion. But if the contrast causes you to expand and you do keep up with it, and then the contrast causes you to expand and you do keep up with it, and the contrast causes you to expand and you do keep up with it, then you would make statements like you're making, I really don't feel much negative emotion, but there is always a range. And it's that range that we want you to be aware of, and you want to manage that range. In other words, we don't want anyone ever to get to the place that they say, I'm feeling not enough emotions to discern which direction I want my thoughts to go. In other words, we agree that you feel good most of the time, and we agree that you are on a much happier keel than almost anyone that you will run into, and we think that's a wonderful thing. And it's a product of managing your thoughts and caring about how you feel.
Right.
But it is so helpful to still acknowledge the range of your emotions, because even though you're doing good, you're still expanding.
Right.
And there is the potential of getting your desire out there beyond your belief, in which case there's going to be some angst until you come into the alignment of expectation. We want to offer to all of you our appreciation for that which you are. This has been a very exhilarating experience for us, and you have been magnificently cooperative components to this leading edge of thought. Did you feel it? Did you feel yourself moving into new places of insight? And do you feel more at one with where you are? That is the most important thing that we are wanting you to take away from this. We want you to revel in the manifestations that you are living while you do a little bit more deliberate job of selectively sifting, because there's so much in your powerful now that will enhance your relationship with your vortex, while there is some in your powerful now that does not enhance your relationship with your vortex. So use your now only to enhance your relationship with your vortex, and otherwise just let your dominant intent be to be feeling as good as you can feel. In other words, don't ask the manifestation to shift, just care about feeling good. We've had enough discussions here today, and you've watched enough shifting in all of this, and we've offered you the best process for doing real vortex work in this specifically negative, generally positive, and then specifically positive. This is a tool that you can really work with if you're standing in a place where there's something in your now that is keeping you from feeling good. If there are many things in your now, if your now is just full of wonderful things that are feeling good, then just acknowledge them and talk about them and revel in them. In other words, if you're feeling good, be specific, be specific, be specific, be specific, be specific. The more specific you can be while you are feeling good, the more you will carry that. We just want you to feel this manifestation that is affected by the vortex. We want you to leave here knowing that there is nothing that you cannot be or do or have. We want you to know that you have come here to manifest, and that you've come here to manifest delicious and wonderful things. And we want you to know that the manifestations are all queued up. They're ready for you to rendezvous with them, but that you have to get into the vortex first, and then the inspiration will come. We want you to know that the vortex is where your inner being is, and where the vibrational essence of all things that you want resides. And we want you to know that the cooperative components have already been assembled, and that just your understanding that the vortex exists, your acceptance that this that you want is there within it, and your willingness to feel your way in, feel your way in, feel your way in, even if it isn't easy. You're going to watch the power of creation, the energy that creates worlds, the energy that flows through the fingertips of your clay moving mind. We want you to watch the demonstration of what those who don't understand will call miracles, of those who do understand will call deliberate creation. We want you to enjoy the hands-on creating from inside the vortex. It is so fun to visit with you. And we have devoured the deliciousness of your manifestations, and will continue to do just that. You didn't come to separate yourself from the physicality. You came to embrace it fully. And we have come to embrace it fully with you as well. And so we leave you, not really, but for now, letting you know our appreciation for you, and letting you know that we eternally stand with you, ready for you anytime, inside the vortex.